Hello Sheppy gang and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing Champions League predictions. Okay, they start next week, maybe the week after. So we need to get on and do it. Okay, I'm going to start at the bottom and then we'll finish at who I think is going to be top of the league phase. Hope you enjoyed the intro. I've been working hard on it. Also have an outro, so hope you enjoyed that. I'll give a few shout outs at the end to some of you subscribers, so look forward for that. Okay, last in the Champions League this season I think is going to be Almaty. Well, they've never been in the Champions League before. They're from like the middle of nowhere in Kazakhstan. I have heard of Almaty before, but that might be because of my, geography knowledge, because I'm pretty good at geography. But no, I have no hope for them at all. Sadly, Almaty, hope you enjoyed that home match against Real Madrid, but I think you're coming last. Then we have Karabakh, who play in Baku, Azerbaijan. And it's another team from, the Central Asia nations, but Azerbaijan, I don't think they've got the best league in the world. Karabakh have been in European competitions before, like they were in the Europa League last season, but I'm pretty sure they finished last. So in this, I don't think they're going to finish last, but they're not going to finish very highly, for 35th to be exact. Then we have Paphos from Cyprus. The Cypriot League is improving, but I still don't think it is good enough to compete on the world's biggest stage, which is the Champions League, if you don't count the World Cup. Okay, but for a club, it's the Champions League. Then we have Slavia Prague. They've got relatively hard fixtures. They are a European regular, and the Czech League isn't that bad, but I just don't see it. So they're 33rd. Then, upset time. Okay. It's going to be Frankfurt. That is my upset. And they're going to finish 32nd, according to my predictions. I just don't see it. There's always a Bundesliga club that doesn't do very well. And last year, it was RB Leipzig. This year, I think it is going to be Slavia Praha or Slavia Prague. Okay. Oh, no. But Frankfurt. I meant to say Frankfurt. I'm very sorry. Oh, yeah, I meant to say Frankfurt, but I think they're going to finish 32nd. Then we have Union Saint-Gallon from Switzerland. No, from Belgium. Need to get my facts right. Union Saint-Gallon, they've not been in the Champions League before. They are debutants, and I don't really see them doing very well. Another one, they've got hard fixtures. They're not really used to playing in Europe. I think they've played in Europe before, but they're not regulars, is what I'm saying. I mean, that might change in the coming years, but currently, I don't see them doing that great. Then we have Club Brugge. They did do really well in the qualifying against Rangers, but, another one, they are European regulars, but just don't see them doing very well. Tough fixtures, pretty much. Same with Copenhagen. They have to play Tottenham, of course. I don't know who else they're playing, but they've got tough fixtures, and I just don't see them getting as high as some people may say. Club Brugge is also sometimes an upset. The same with Copenhagen. The European regulars, they've all got European experience, but I just don't see them pulling off the upset this time. Then we have Newcastle, another one. Tough fixtures for Newcastle, and I think who's Eddie Howe gonna what is Eddie Howe going to prioritise? Is it going to be the Champions League, or is it going to be the league, or is he going to try and win a cup? I don't know, but what I do think is that he is going to try and prioritise the league, securing Champions League again. Getting that Champions League money. They've lost Isak. They've not had the greatest window in the world. And I don't know how Nick Vorterheimer hope I've said that right, is going to do at the club. So I've put them 28th. Then we have Monaco, another one, European regulars, but a few tough fixtures. And compared to the other sides and their fixtures, also the teams that they have, I don't see Monaco making it. Sorry. Then we have PSV, another one, hard fixtures, European regulars, but just don't see them going that extra step in the Champions League. Then we have Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, I think this is self-explanatory. I don't know who they're going to have as their new manager, and it seems like it's a bit of a mess at the club. So I don't see them making it. Then we have Olympiacos. They're going to make the playoffs, and it's the first team to make the playoffs, Olympiacos. So all the teams that I've said before, I think are going to be eliminated. Olympiacos, I see them being an upset. They've done well in the Conference League. Well, they won it. And then they did well in the Europa League. So I see another run for Olympiacos. They've got a good team. The Greek League is pretty competitive. And they're the Greek champions. So Olympiacos, I see 24th. Then we have Ajax just scraping in over PSV. Actually, I want to change it. Swap PSV and Ajax. I'm just going to change it on my sheet. I did put PSV there because of tough fixtures. Ajax had a few easier fixtures. But I think Ajax is more likely to slip up in those fixtures. And PSV also, I think, is more likely to upset teams that they have. So that is why I've swapped them around. So that means PSV is 23rd, Ajax is 26th. Okay, then we have Villarreal. You know, they're from a top 5 league. And I think most teams from a top 5 league will make it through in the Champions League. I think it goes with all the European competitions. But that's where I see them. I see them just making it. Like, they've not got that harder fixtures. Like, it's sort of in the middle. You know, they've got to the Champions League semi-finals before, which is really impressive. And I think they might go on a little run. So that's where we have Villarreal, 22nd. Then we have Bodo Glimt, another upset. I see again. They did well in the Europa League, and I see them doing again Champions League. Those home fixtures are going to be very important for Bodo, and I think with a few home wins, they can make it to the playoff round. Then we have Sporting Lisbon. You know, European regulars always make the knockouts, and I think that's going to happen again. And I've put them 20th. They've got a few tough fixtures, more than others. But of course, they've got a solid team. I know they've lost Victor Gyökeres, but the Luis Suarez guy looks like a good talent. So that's where we have Sporting Lisbon. Then we have Atalanta. Just above Sporting, we have Atalanta. They've lost Gasperini. He's gone to Roma, of course. And they've still got some good players. They've still got Lookman. They lost their top goal scorer from last season, Retigeri. I don't know how to say his name. But he's gone to Saudi. Gone to get the bag in Saudi. So, I don't know how it's going to go for Atalanta. They've got Scramacca, who used to play for West Ham, yes. But I see them finishing, like, middle of the park in the playoffs, you know. I think it could go either way. They could go through to the round 16 or they might not. But another team that I think, actually, you're not guaranteed to get that Champions League spot every season. So I think they're going to have to prioritise the league a little bit more. I don't know who their manager is now. But I think he's going to do all right. You know, I don't think he's, like, going to do that great. Then we have Marseille. Another team that is sometimes in... Marseille's pretty much always in Europe. I mean, they've missed out in it for like a few times. But Marseille, I see finishing pretty much in the middle of this playoff spot. They're not good enough to compete with the top dogs, and they're not really that bad. Got all right fixtures. That's where I've got Marseille. Same goes with Benfica and Galatasaray, both Champions League regulars, and I see them doing all right. Athletic Club, I see them also doing pretty well. Got some all right fixtures. You know, they're from a top 5 league, so I think they will do like pretty well. But again, with a few teams, they've got a good team, but they're not European regulars, and you don't know, are they going to make the Champions League spots? Maybe not. They might be in the Europa League like they were last season, so they're going to have to prioritise the league just that little bit more. Then we have Juventus. You know, I think they're not the team that they once were. Juve are nowhere near as good as they once were, with Buffon, Cristiano Ronaldo, Del Piero. I mean, they're all from different times. Pirlo is another one. You know, Juventus legends, Zinedine Zidane, so much more. If you remember that song, you know, put it down in the comments. Oh, I've just remembered. The comments don't work, and I don't really know why. Okay? I'm sorry. I might get it fixed, but I don't know how to do that, to be honest. Then we have Atletico Madrid. They've signed loads of players over the summer, and I see them having some time to adapt. But I think they will click under... Oh my god, I just forgot his name. I'm going to put it down below. That's the Atletico Madrid's manager's name. I do know it, and I know David Beckham got a red card for tackling him in a World Cup. That's all I'm going to say. I know his name, but it just can't, it's not coming to me. Then we have Dortmund, another European regular. They always sort of do well in the Champions League, and I don't know why. When in the league, they're not doing that great. So I see them doing, doing pretty well. Then we have Napoli. I see them having another good season under Antonio Conte. And I see Scott McTominay captaining. Is he the captain? I think he is. Doing excellent this season as well. Then we have Inter Milan, another Italian team. Inter, I mean, after the Champions League final, I think their morale is going to be a little bit down, obviously. And maybe they aren't going to do as well as they probably would have liked. But that's where they are. Then we have our first English side in Tottenham Hotspurs. Well, the mighty Spurs. Okay. What should I say about Tottenham? I think no, not Ange. He's the manager of Forest. Yeah, that's just been announced on their filming. Thomas the Frank engine is going to do a great job at Tottenham. I like Kudus. I like Simmons. I've liked Simmons for a while, and Kudus for that reason. Like, they're both great players. Who else do you have? I think Richarlison might pop off a little bit. At the end of the fence, doing pretty well. I mean, the last game they've played was a Bournemouth loss at home, which isn't good enough. But, you know, that's Spursy. So, as a Tottenham supporter, that's what you expect, pretty much. Then, it's the automatics now. PSG is number 8. You might say, why do you have the current champions in number 8? I think it is they've got some pretty tough fixtures. Oh, pardon me. I think they've got some pretty tough fixtures. Oh, pardon me again. I think they've got some pretty tough fixtures, and, you know, I still see them qualifying automatically, but maybe they don't do as well as they probably would have liked. Also, I'm not too sure about signing Lucas Chavlet. I can't say his name. Chavlet? I really don't know. Instead of Donnarumma. I will also put his name down below. It's right there. And it's should be spelt correctly as well. But Chevalier sounds right. Cavalier? It's something like that anyway. And his first name's Lucas. But I think Donnarumma's way better at the end of the day. Maybe he's not as good on the ball, but from a goalkeeper, I feel like you don't really need to be that good on the ball. Donnarumma is an incredible shot stopper, and I think that's good enough at the end of the day. You know, I think it's a bit picky to go, you're the best goalkeeper in the world, but we're going to sell you. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Then we have Hala Madrid. Real Madrid. I have them 7th. You know, still an adapting... it's a transitional phase in Real Madrid. And I see Xabi Alonso, he's going to take time to get it all clicking. And, yeah. So 7th. For the Kings of the Champions League, Real Madrid. Then we have Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to do really well in this tournament. They have great squad depth. If Palmer's cooking, João Pedro's on fire, and maybe Steven / Esteval. Esteval. Steven Esteval? Hopefully he is cooking. Steven. Or Steve. Then we have Donnarumma's new club, Manchester City. And I love the signing of Rangers and Donnarumma. I think they're both great. I mean, I don't know why Pep wants Donnarumma, because, like, he plays tiki-taka, he plays tiki-taka football. And very boring football at that. I would never go and watch Manchester City. It is bum, 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 goal. Like, I'm so bored. You win, but do you actually entertain your fans? No. I mean, you just don't. Then we have Bayern Munich, the Bundesliga champions, with Harry Kane up front. I see them doing pretty well. I see Elise doing really well in the Champions League this year. And also Kane, because Kane is just a goal machine. Then we have Barcelona, the debt collectors. I mean, they're just, like, their debt is just going up and up and up and up. I mean, most of these clubs are pretty heavily in debt. But especially Barcelona. And they've not even, like, got the right forms to go into the Camp Nou now. Like, they were meant to do it on reduced capacity, but they didn't get the right forms for, like, the Barcelona council. So now they can't do that. They're, like, without a stadium, and they're going to have to play at the training ground. I mean, Champions League nights at the Barcelona training ground. You know, that might be elite. I don't know. Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, they are the best front three in Europe. You know, they're the new MSN, pretty much, for Barcelona. I mean, Lewandowski's not going to be there for much longer, probably, but Rafinha and Yamal probably are going to be there for quite a while. Okay, then second, we have the Gunners. It saddens me to say this, but I do think the Gunners are going to finish second again. You know, they just love to finish second, and they love to bottle things. So I think maybe a round of 16 exit for Arsenal. I don't know. Or they bottled the final. It's going to be something like that. And then top is Liverpool. Once again, I think this year Liverpool are going to top it. But do I see them winning the whole thing? I don't know. But have a think. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League this year? I know the comments are disabled. I don't know why. YouTube, please fix it. But if I had comments that you could actually type in, do it on a different video. Actually, type in one of my videos, at least, who do you think is going to win the Champions League this year? And I hope you all have enjoyed, Sheppy Gang. Ciao, ciao for now. Goodbye.